when 4 submarines from 4 different navies vanished in less than 6 months. In 1968, the great fleets kept permanent patrols beneath the sea, watching one another. Many of those boats were aging, and some were carrying deferred overhauls. Yet when they began to disappear, none of that was enough to explain what had happened. The first of them was Israeli. Dakar, a former British T-class submarine, sailed from the port of Portsmouth for Haifa. Her last signal was received at 2 minutes past midnight on January 25th, east of the island of Crete. She was carrying 69 men. A year later, her emergency buoy came ashore on the coast of Gaza. The wreck, however, was not located until 1999 at 3,000 meters, roughly 9,800 feet, between Crete and Cyprus. Not until 2015 did the Israeli Navy conclude that the most likely cause had been a technical failure or a loss of control. 48 hours later, it was France's turn. Minerve, of the Daphne class, was running at periscope depth off Toulon in a strong mistral and heavy seas. Contact was lost at 7:55 on January 27th. 4 minutes later, seismographs recorded a shockwave. 52 crew dead. In 2019, Ocean Infinity found her at 2,370 meters, about 7,800 feet, broken into 3 large sections. The French report of 2020 pointed to a massive ingress of water through the failure of the snorkel valve, possibly after a collision with something never identified. 2 months later, it was the turn of the Soviet Union. In March of that year, the Soviet submarine K-129 disappeared, a diesel-electric ballistic missile submarine armed with 3 missiles carrying thermonuclear warheads with 98 men on board. The exact date of the sinking is still disputed. Although Moscow tried to locate her without success, it was American hydrophones that fixed her position at 5,000 meters, some 16,400 feet, down in the Pacific. In 1974, the CIA built a ship under the cover of a mining operation and managed to raise part of the wreck. Yet its internal account of the operation, declassified in 2010, never addressed the cause of the sinking. The last of the doomed submarines was American. Scorpion, nuclear-powered, was returning to her base at Norfolk when she went down on May 22nd. 99 men lost their lives. The US Navy found her in October near the Azores, her hull crushed by the pressure. Although the Naval Court of Inquiry could not determine what had triggered the disaster, a panel of Navy experts concluded soon afterwards that the most likely origin may have been an internal explosion in the battery. For years, culprits were sought, and each navy suspected its own enemy. Yet at the end of the story, the most disquieting thing was not discovering who sank those submarines. It was understanding that as far as anyone ever established, no one did.